I'm Cole Malone from Newcastle Nutrition. Stay tuned because Titantown Sports is next.
And my, oh my, we are back for a ghouly edition of Titantown Sports, and I'm just so excited because my partner Ethan Kurtz is here with me. And Ethan, how are you doing?
RJ, I'm better now. I've got my festive suit on. I'm here with you. Perfect day for some Titantown Sports.
Yeah, and just shout out to the suit. Oh my gosh, I think I'm dressed enough. This guy over here is putting overtime. But, you know, Ethan, I'm kind of confused because I know it's Halloween. I know all that stuff, but why do we have live pumpkins in front of our face? I mean, this is kind of confusing. I don't know.
Yeah, RJ, we're going to be carving these throughout the episode, and then at the end, we'll take a look whose was better, and you guys can vote on that on social media. You
know, my best friend Ben lost the vote last time, so I'm going to change that narrative for us. But speaking of cutting, we got some prime cuts done by yours truly, Peyton Mills. He stepped up for me this week. So let's take a great look at that.
Welcome to this week's edition of Prime Cuts. I'm Peyton Mell, filling in for RJ Scott. Let's dive into the highly anticipated rivalry showdown from over the weekend, Westminster versus Grove City. Both the Titans and the Wolverines entered the matchup at 4-2, setting a stage for a crucial PAC contest with major implications. Westminster looked to build on the spark provided by their young quarterback, Quentin Good, while Grove City aimed to extend their momentum to a 4th straight win after starting the season 1-2.
Field with Quentin Good in the shotgun. Bobble snap, drops back to pass. Quickly pressured, heaves downfield. This has got some air under. This is going to be caught by Tate Beachy at the other side of the 40-yard line.
Good would complete that deep ball late in the first quarter, but the drive was cut short when Keegan Frazier came up with an interception for Grove City. The score would be tied up at half, both teams showing strong defensive performances. Freshman DeAndre Charles would open up the second half with his first interception of his career.
Intercepted on the first play! Oh, welcome to the second half. It's an interception. And the backup, Ethan Wiley, trots back to the sideline, and Westminster trots back onto the field.
But the Titans couldn't cash in on the opportunity, and Grove City was the first to break through in the second half.
Pressured, well downfield, has a man. That is caught for a first down and more. 10-5, end zone, touchdown, Wolverines! The Wolverines claw first.
The Titans responded immediately, marching down the field on the next drive.
One is tipped and caught by Bryce Cannon for a first down and more. Still on his feet at the 45-yard line. Bryce Cannon 40, 35, steps out of bounds shy of the 30. Another big third down conversion for the Titans and Bryce Cannon. Drops back to pass. Screen. Christian Bailey, first down and more into the red zone. Christian Bailey on the 15, taken down shy of the 10. Nice little dump off to Christian Bailey at the 14-yard line. Drops back to pass on a play action. Wants the end zone. Caught by Lawrence Grayson. He breaks the plane. And a chance at parity for the Titans. It's a touchdown, Westminster.
Touchdown there from Grayson. Good whips that one in there to the freshman.
Later in the third quarter, the Titans were driving for the lead, and Good connects here on the completion.
It's caught by Lawrence Grayson. He climbs the ladder and moves the chains.
But unfortunately for Westminster, the Wolverines came up with an interception, setting themselves up for good field position. Running back Chase Rankin took the handoff and punched it in, giving Grove City the 14-7 lead in the fourth quarter. The Titans were unable to tie the game up, leaving Grove City to come out of there with a victory of 14-7. The Wolverines are now 5-2 and the Titans fall to 4-3. Westminster looks to rebound this Saturday as they face Allegheny in another key PAC matchup. That's all for this week's Prime Cuts. I'm Peyton Mell, and thanks for watching.
Big thanks to Peyton Mell. His Titantown Sports debut, at least on the talent side. Ben Kelly along with head coach Scott Benzel. Coach, welcome back to Titantown Sports.
Thanks for having me, Ben.
Halloween episode, you dressing up as anything on Halloween?
To be determined. I usually don't get a chance, but since it being Friday, there's a chance that I might figure something out.
You can always go as like a football coach or something. You got the gear for
I could do that. Yeah, I could definitely do that.
Well, it was a tough one on Saturday, loss to Grove City. There's always a lot to learn when it comes to a loss, but how has Saturday's loss motivated the team ahead of Allegheny?
The term I use is don't get bit by the same dog twice. So you can't have one loss affect you into the next game. Easier said than done. It's taken us a little longer to recover from this one, to be perfectly fair and honest, and I think that's because we have a bunch of guys that really care, and But we've got to turn the page. I think we're starting to round the corner here, especially with our Wednesday's practice. Got a lot of new faces, which should help motivate our guys going into Saturday.
The offense was held to only 7 points against the Wolverines. So what are you hoping to see in a rebound effort against the Gators on Saturday?
Yeah, we moved the football against a really good outfit. We just weren't able to finish. So took a lot of time this week to work on red zone offense and defense, particularly when we get close to these short yardage situations. It's really, in the end, Ben, it's execution. The plays are the plays. The players have to execute that, and we got to be steadfast in our understanding of what our assignments are and what our job is.
Allegheny looks at a bit of a QB derby. Two really good, two very threatening quarterbacks under center. How does the difference come when you're preparing for two quarterbacks against just the one?
Yeah, it's a challenge. What I'm seeing in terms of their system is similarities, though. They're not running what I would call two separate-looking offensive attacks. They're executing their offense, but they're doing it mainly through what's called a run-pass option, right? So there's a lot of RPO tags with that. So what it does is it challenges your discipline on the defensive side of the ball. Fortunately for us, that's sort of what our offense has morphed into with having Cheese out there. So we've had a lot of good versus good to help us prepare for that.
She's one of the few healthy players fully ready to go on Saturday. The blue tent was not in the blueprint for this season. How have the injuries to this team affected the strategy, but also just the morale of this Titan team? Yeah, it's been really challenging. It's not necessarily who you play, it's when you play them. If you can get certain things to line up in your way, it's always a challenge for everybody. Football, it's a tough sport. It's a violent sport. Injuries happen. You got to have a ton of depth. The reality of it is, it's set us back a little bit, and there's some guys that are being put into some spots that they're going to have to learn on the job. It is what it is. It's unfortunate, but hopefully we can get better and continue to grow from it. You had a big win against Allegheny last year. You were the homecoming opponent. You told me you had to wear the black hat ahead of that game, spoil the homecoming. What is the message this year ahead of the Gators coming in?
Yeah, I think they're looking to spoil us. Nobody feels sorry for you, with injuries and setbacks and things of that nature. What they're probably smelling is some vulnerability, and it'll be pretty obvious to me in regards to how we approach this game from a mental standpoint. Physically, adrenaline's a great tool, and 18 to 22-year-olds have tremendous amount of physical ability. It's going to be between our ears. It's going to be the challenge.
Part of 6 inches in sports are between the ears, of course. So, Coach, the 3 keys against Allegheny come Saturday.
Yeah, I think attack. Again, how do you get over performance from the week before? It's get off that, get off the schneid and get after it. So we got to attack and get after these guys early, let them know that, we're here to play. The second one is always going to be, we got to finish. Our red zone area has been, that was a huge, huge disappointment for us, something we take a ton of pride in, so that's got to be there. And then the line of scrimmage, offensive, defensive line of scrimmages are really the ultimate advantage, I think, for us. I think we're a little deeper in those areas, and those are the areas that I think we can exploit.
Thank you, Coach. Best of luck against Allegheny on Saturday. Westminster and Allegheny coming up. We have more action from the PAC in this week's PAC Recap.
Welcome back to the PAC Recap now for Week 8 of the 2025 season. First to Greenville, PA, as Teal hosted Case Western. Stephen Lopez gets it started for Case Western from 6 yards out. Then it's Case quarterback Sam Datilio airing it out to Liam O'Brien from the other side of the 50 to add to the Spartans' lead 17-0. Andy Kapsich would help add to the shutout. Sam Datilio looking for him in the back of the end zone, a little cut off by the camera, makes it 45-0. Teal gets on the board with a Dion Logan 4-yard touchdown run. Then the Spartans close the show after the run from Logan there. Joel Hancock breaks loose to make the final 55-7. Case dominates the Tomcats, wins this one 55-7. The Geneva Golden Tornadoes in their dynamic red-hot offense hosted Bethany. Caleb Romano wastes no time finding Luke Krumbacher for the 34-yard touchdown to make it 14-0. Brett Phillips and company, the Bison, get on board as Jacob Burns makes the juggling catch for the score. Romano back at it for the Golden Tornadoes, letting it fly once again, this time to Damian Lax, who wins the foot race to the end zone to add to the Golden Tornadoes' lead. For Bethany, it's Jacob Burns once again, using his 6'4" frame to go upstairs for the jump ball touchdown, his second touchdown of the day. Geneva would have one more deep shot from Romano to Keaton Baker on the far sideline, closing it out. Geneva wins this one over Bethany 75-28. Flipping now to Allegheny and Hiram. Carson Colucci hits Devin Larry on the zig route for the game's first score from 1 yard out. Hiram answering the Gators. Sean Tejeda lets it rip to Jordan Stapleton to tie it at 7 apiece here in the second quarter. Allegheny matches Hiram. Devin Larry, a little stop and go on the far sideline, breaks free, and a new quarterback, Nick Barker, finds him for the deep bomb. Allegheny would win this one after the Dominic Baraducci touchdown to close the show here from 7 yards out. Secures the win for the Gators. Allegheny tops the Terriers 28-13. Last game of week 8, W&J in Waynesburg. QB Kellen Stahl for the Presidents had a game for the record book, setting the D3 single game completion percentage record. Stahl went 27-28, good for 96.4%, throwing for 408 yards and 5 touchdowns. His last touchdown of the game would come here to Jacob McCosco on the sideline shot, perfectly placed from Stahl. W&J shuts out the Yellow Jackets 56-0. Now kicking it back to the guys at the desk.
And great stuff going on in the PAC as well as from Jacob Rhodes, as he does a phenomenal job with that segment. And a few things caught my eye with some teams in that segment, Ethan.
Yeah, Geneva putting together an incredible season, RJ. Caleb Romano, first across all divisions in passing yards, still putting together an incredible junior campaign.
And it's funny, they start, they get away from the spread offense, they start passing. Good things come when you change.
Absolutely.
But Titan football will return home this Saturday to host the Allegheny Gators. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock, and you can watch here on WCN or listen to Titan Radio with coverage starting at 9 o'clock on the radio side. Ben Kelly will be joined by one of the newest alumni and a familiar voice, Cody Better. You'll remember Cody as the host of Coach's Corner and the producer of the first season of Titantown Sports. Prior to graduating last spring, he spoke with WCN's Mark Slazak about the immediate impact he felt Titantown Sports made on the community.
The support we got from faculty and coaches and the staff here and even students, it blew me away, honestly. I didn't expect it to have that much of an outreach so early on, but by week 5 or 6 we were getting emails and people were coming up to me personally and talking about it, and other people who were involved in the show were saying stories that, hey, I don't even go to this school, but I heard about your show. Are you involved in that? So that it's been something that I never probably would have been able to do anywhere else. And the fact that it worked so well this semester, kind of being the first season, it kind of shows the group that we have and the talent that we have here at Westminster. And it's not just me and it's not just Ben. It was every single person who's been involved. Each week we'd send out a format. They would respond. They'd have a couple days to put together a segment, maybe 4, maybe 5 max. And for the most part, we got things in, ready to go. And we didn't really have too many issues with that, which, trying to organize that while you also have other classes and sports and tests and practices, it's not easy. And a lot of the people that we have on the show are involved in athletics or are involved in a different club or are in music or something like that. So I think just it goes to show the group that worked so hard on this show. That's why we were so successful. It's not me, it's not Ben. I think it's everybody collectively as one team, because if I didn't have a lot of these people here, just because I'm the producer, I don't feel that way. I think if we didn't have any of the people in the roles they were in, whether it was Gary Joseph on a camera or Jake Rhodes, working the directing, I don't think the show would have worked out. So I'm super grateful that we've had such a talented group, and I'm super excited to see what the show can turn into. I think, like I said, the group that's going to be working on it next year is uber talented, and I hope that keeps getting better and better each year. I hope my show, the one that I ran, is the worst one in 5 years from now. That would be awesome to see just that kind of keep going up and up.
Cody will be live with Ben Kelly at 12:50. Once again, full pregame coverage starts at 9 a.m. only on Titan Radio, the one true home of Titan Athletics.
And speaking of, we got some trivia action. You know what I mean? I'm excited, because trivia is always fun. Ethan, would you like to take it away?
Yeah, RJ. On a spooky Halloween night in 2015, which unlucky team fell to Westminster in a 39-14 blowout? Was it Grove City, St. Vincent, Allegheny, or a former PAC member in Thomas More?
This is 2015, early Scott Benzel era here. I don't know much about Thomas More. It could be them, but I'm not going to go with that. I'm thinking it's Allegheny since we're on, that week. It could be, easy question.
I like it. We'll see what the answer is, RJ. St. Vincent.
Ooh. That's a good one.
I don't think either of us saw that one coming.
I mean, honestly, I didn't. I'm thinking that we're going to go with the theme of, Allegheny. So I think it's a free pick right there, honestly. But up next, we got some Senior Day Soccer highlights and a recap there as they conclude their season. A lot of seniors to be highlighted. a great season for both teams, but we got some to show you guys.
Welcome to the UPMC Sports Complex, the proud home of Westminster Titans soccer. I'm Tom Rook, and today we're recapping all the action from the 2025 soccer season. First up is the Westminster women's soccer team. Although the team graduated 10 players in 2024, the Titans brought in 13 new faces for the 2025 season. This included 9 freshmen and 4 transfers. This year's Titan team allowed 1 goal or less in 13 of their 17 games in 2025. That meant their calling card was defense. With a strong senior presence in the defensive third, the Titan defense could lock down any opposing offense when needed. Anchored by senior defenders Alina Taladay and Taylor Jones and senior 2023 All-American goalkeeper Morgan Murphy, the veteran leadership of this Titan team was very strong. On the offensive side, Westminster had exciting moments. This was highlighted by a dominant 9-0 win at Teal College on October 22nd. In this game, Westminster finished with a 37-0 advantage in shots and had a 19-0 edge in shots on goal. 8 different players scored for Westminster in this game, and 6 of those 8 found the back of the net for the first time in their Titan careers. The 2025 season was filled with first career goals. One of those occurred on October 15th as freshman Titan Zoe Pahala helped secure a 1-1 draw against Allegheny College.
Airing over midfield now. Takes a deflection, eventually finding Horvath, looking towards Lewis. Awkward touch. Here's Amanda Lewis. Lewis squares it for Pahala. The freshman, Zoe Pahala, saved by Augustine. Rebound! And Zoe Pahala equalizing for Westminster. The first career goal for the freshman. And we're all even again in New Wilmington.
The Titans ended their 2025 home schedule on October 25th with a 2-1 win against PAC foe Bethany College on Senior Recognition Day. Senior midfielder Ashley Horvath started the scoring in the 63rd minute, and then junior defender Juliana Russell broke the tie in the 78th minute to help the Titans claim the victory.
For me, it's meant a lot of leadership, and it's been my second support system besides my family, and these girls playing with them today meant a lot because I've grown with them. They've seen me at my worst, they've seen me at my best, they've seen me not play at all, and they've seen me start a couple games. So to build this family and to be able to grow within it has done a lot for me, and I just love all of them.
We made a second family here, so it just means a lot that we're always just there for each other, whether it's like a hard game, the wins and the losses, the ties. We're always there for each other, trying to hype each other up, there even after practices, before practices.
The Titans were led by head coach Girish Thakar, who just wrapped up his 24th season leading the women's soccer program.
Well, I mean, the first thing is that all classes, when they graduate, it's always a big thing, for us. Kind of like starting all over again in a way, and so this class that's been run here with, most of them have been here for 4 years and stuck with us through the ups and downs. It's been a pleasure working with them, and just they bring so much, not just to the team, but to the school.
Westminster ended its 2025 season with an overall record of 3-9-5 and a President's Athletic Conference record of 3-5-3. A huge congratulations to this year's 11 women's soccer seniors. Now looking at the men's program, the Titans were led by a new yet familiar face for the 2025 season. A 2015 Westminster graduate and former Titans soccer player, head coach Ryan Francis completed his first season at the helm of the Titans. Coach Francis earned his first win as head coach of the Titans on October 15th against Allegheny College in a close 1-0 battle.
That game meant a lot. We had a long drought this season, but I think pulling out that win really boosted the spirits going forward. I think it really meant a lot for the program to finally pull out that win. It was a tough one, but it ended up being one of the best wins I've ever had.
Speaking of new, this year's men's team was highlighted by a very large freshman class, 15 to be exact. Freshman midfielder Elijah Waschek led this freshman class with 2 goals on the season, both coming in the team's 3-2 loss at Teal on October 22nd. The 2025 Titans had a very tight-knit senior group as well.
These are some of my best friends, honestly. Like the boys that I've been playing with, especially the kids that are my age here, they're definitely some of my best friends. Like I've been spending the past 4 years with them on the field, and we hang out off the field all the time. So that's builds like really good relationships there, lifelong relationships.
The men's team also wrapped up their home schedule with Senior Recognition Day against Bethany on October 25th. Even though they lost a tough one 2-0, it was a great day to celebrate the team's seniors.
It means a lot. We've been through a lot, been through coaching change. We've been through 4 years. We made the playoffs. I haven't been through the playoffs. We've been through everything together. So these are my brothers. I'll love them forever. good group of guys behind me coming up. These young guys, they'll have a good year next year. I'm looking forward to coming back and seeing them.
Westminster finished its season with a 1-13-4 overall record and a 1-7-3 PAC record. Hats off to the 6 men's soccer seniors. Thanks so much for watching this 2025 Titan Soccer season recap. For Titantown Sports, I'm Tom Rook.
And thank you so much, Tom. Good season from both teams. Men's, obviously, new head coach, so he's making his mark. Great stuff from him. Early on, they're going to have some struggles, obviously, but there's always still room to grow. And for the women as well, not what they expected, obviously, coming off PAC titles in past, but, still a legacy for the seniors that they built that will forever be remembered in Titan history.
Absolutely, RJ. Morgan Murphy, a 2023 All-American. The team as a whole, the 2022 PAC champions, and then last year, the runner-up. So definitely a great legacy there. Both teams concluded their seasons against W&J just Wednesday. So we'll take a look at some highlights from that game.
I'm Ethan Kurtz, and this Wednesday was decision day in the PAC as programs battled for the remaining playoff spots in both men's and women's soccer. Westminster, while eliminated from playoff contention in both men's and women's action, looked to close the season out on a high note. Both programs took on W&J, a team that was on the bubble on the men's side of things but already eliminated on the women's side. Starting with the women's game, Morgan Murphy was able to make a few first-half saves for Westminster to keep things square at 0 apiece. In the 27th minute, Murphy makes the save to deny the Presidents. Following a corner, Amanda Lewis tries her hand on goal but is denied by W&J's Gianna Patterson. After the half, it's set pieces again for the Titans that make the difference. For the third time this season, it's Juliana Russell elevating to head the delivery into the back of the net and strike first in Washington in the 54th minute. W&J wouldn't back down from the challenge as the Presidents signed Bill into law with a goal off of a corner just 20 seconds after Russell put Westminster ahead. It's Alexa Taylor that bags one for the home side. The Titans, looking to take home all 3 points, break through once more as Emma Malaberti's solo effort makes it 2-1 to the visitors in the 80th minute. Despite the Titan advantage, W&J again wouldn't falter, notching a late equalizer via Kendall Obley in the 84th minute. The President goal would be enough for the hosts to split points with Westminster, as both teams finished 2025 with 12 points, not enough to advance into the postseason. In the men's matchup, there were less goals scored, but still plenty of action. Jackson Friday does it himself, dribbling through a multitude of Presidents before coming oh so close to striking first in the nightcap after 23 minutes played. Senior Caleb Kuhn, hoping to bury his first goal, gets denied by W&J in the 35th minute. Beautiful build-up play from W&J is capped off by the flawless freshman, Brett Moyer with the pass across the box and the hammering finish from Jonathan Barahona to start the party and fire the Presidents in front. Noah Wolford made some key saves in the second half, but Barahona's goal would be the difference maker, a goal for all of Washington to celebrate as W&J punched their ticket to the PAC tournament as the 6th seed as a result of the 39th minute winner. That's all for Westminster Soccer this season. We'll see you again in 2026. Now back to the desk on Titantown Sports.
A solid way for both teams to wrap up the season. The women picking up the 2-2 draw against W&J. The men falling 1-0, but for W&J, that sent them into the playoffs as the 6th seed. So an incredible performance from them. And then, RJ, just under our nose, we've got an update on our Pumpkins.
Yeah, these bad boys right here. I don't know what we got going on. We got a situation going on with these things. We're not professional pumpkin carvers.
Not at all.
Don't get after us, but we tried our best. But, speaking of things, view from the tower, isn't that what you do, right?
It is, RJ. Let's send it over to Old Main for a view from the tower overlooking the high school sports landscape.
I'm Ethan Kurtz, right now overlooking the top of Old Main here at Westminster College, the perfect spot for a view over the high school sports landscape in Lawrence and Mercer counties. District playoffs are in full swing, so let's get right into it. Wilmington girls volleyball got their 11th straight win after sweeping Lakeview. As a result, the Hounds are headed to the District 10 championship. Led by sophomore Ali Jekovich's 34 assists and sophomore Izzy Lynch's 19 kills, the Lady Greyhounds clinched a spot in the 1A title game on Thursday against Maplewood. Slippery Rock's season ends at the hands of Warren in 3A volleyball after being swept in the D10 semifinals on Tuesday. Mercer's incredible girls soccer run came to a close on Tuesday, falling in double overtime to Seneca 1-0 in the District 10 championship. Wilmington boys also fell in the D10 soccer title game, losing 1-0 to Mercyhurst Prep.
Maggie Jewell of Mercer became the District 10 cross-country champion after running an 18:16 on Saturday, down over 2 minutes from her PR prior to the season of 2025. An incredible feat for the senior, who is now the D10 title holder. In football, Wilmington has a bye in the D10 1A tournament. Farrell battles Eisenhower in the semifinals of the 2A bracket Saturday, and Hickory, Sharon, and Grove City all have first-round contests in 3A this Friday. In District 7, Neshannock takes on Leechburg, and Laurel play Jefferson Morgan in 1A on Friday. In 2A, Mohawk, Riverside, and Elwood City will all be in action, while Newcastle plays Montour in 4A. I'm Ethan Kurtz. Let's return back to the campus of Westminster and head on over to the desk on Titan Town Sports.
It's always amazing when we can show love to our local high schools because, they watch us, so we watch them as well, and give them a platform to show off their skill prowess. And even when they go to championships, it's always a pleasure to do that, Ethan.
Absolutely, RJ. And Ben Kelly and Braylon Juzak told us something that they're really excited for this year is high school hockey. They got to call 2 games this past week at Hess Ice Arena, not far from here. So we'll take a look at some highlights from both of those games.
Wilmington and Trinity at the Hess Ice Arena, both teams looking for their first win of this season. Wilmington off to a quick start, but a tying goal shortly after will knot us up at 1. Lots of late game action, so let's fast forward to the third period where Seamus Coyle would connect with his brother Henry. Pass, Henry Coyle can't connect. Back to Seamus. Seamus Coyle, the shot stop. Rebound in front, they score! It's Henry Coyle! Parity at Hess! That would not be the last of Seamus Coyle. He would assist on the go-ahead goal from behind the net with under a minute to play. Moments later, he found the puck on his stick, looking to seal the game. Oh, and a turnover in front. Seamus Coyle loses it, and they score! That'll be the dagger! Oh, famous Seamus strikes again! Trinity picks up their first win of the season, breaking Greyhounds' hearts. The next game was just as action-packed with 2 juggernauts, Neshannock and Burrell. Burrell will get off to a fiery start just 16 seconds into this one.
Here it is, Burrow right off the rip, going down towards Neshannock, makes a move inside, passes center, he pass, shot, save, rebound, score! Right off the rip!
Jumping late now to the third period, Burrell down a goal, pulls goalie Sidney Mathers for the extra attacker, taking advantage of that extra man, sends us to overtime with less than 20 seconds left, lending the game to an overtime hero.
Handing up the ice with a full head of steam. One guy to beat. Moves in with a little hesitation move. Shot! Score! The Lancers have slain the Dragon!
Neshannock stays undefeated in what could be the game of the year. Now back to Ethan and RJ at the desk.
An incredible finish at the Hess Ice Arena Monday. Neshannock, who have won state championships in the past, with a thrilling finish in overtime there against Burrell, RJ.
Absolutely amazing. Something I noticed, electric calls, by the way, from Braylon and Ben. But fun fact, remember the swim segment, right? I also don't know how to ice skate. That could be a painful thing to watch. Hopefully that never happens. Crew, hope you heard that. But, it's always fun to learn new things, to say the least.
Yeah, RJ, I can't either, so maybe I can join you with that one, get something going. But.
Hey, we're both in the grind. But speaking of high school, we got some great Wilmington High School football highlights up next for you to see.
The District 10 Wilmington Greyhounds hosted the District 9 Karn City Gremlins this past Friday, October 24th. Senior Gremlin running back Hunter Shear got the scoring started with a 6-yard rushing touchdown. However, the Greyhounds answered with a big play on the following kickoff.
Freddie Zettner catches at the 10-yard line. He's going to pitch back to Chase Mitchelltree, who catches at the 20, going up towards the near sideline. He's got one man to beat. Tripped up, but what a return from Chase Mitchelltree and Freddie Zettner. Tripped up by Mason Bell of the Gremlins.
The Greyhounds capitalized on this great field position as junior quarterback Wesley Vascal found senior split end Freddie Zettner for a huge 33-yard touchdown. With the score now knotted up at 7, junior Gremlin quarterback Cole Johnston found the end zone twice before the end of the first half to give Karn City a 20-7 lead going into the break. The score would stay that way until the fourth quarter when junior Greyhound running back Chase Mitchelltree returned a Gremlin kickoff for 79 yards, which set up his first rushing touchdown of the game.
Mitchelltree cutting across the 30, across the 40. Mitchelltree got one man to beat. He's going across the 40, now across the 30, across the 20. Mitchelltree, one man to beat, and he can't get around him just across the 5-yard line. But what a return from Chase Mitchelltree.
4 more touchdowns would be scored by the end of the fourth quarter, with 3 of them coming on the ground. Hunter Shear ran one in from 16 out. Mitchelltree then found the end zone for his second of the game from 7 yards out. Following this Greyhound touchdown, Hunter Shear completed a hat trick as he ran in his third touchdown of the game to make it a 33-21 ball game. As the fourth quarter began to wind down, the Greyhounds did not give up. Wesley Vascal aired one out to Freddie Zettner for a 54-yard touchdown to keep Wilmington's hopes alive.
Vascal has Zettner on the near sideline. Vascal going to drop back to pass. Looking deep, firing deep, looking for Zettner. And he's got it. Freddie Zettner, 10-5, touchdown. Freddie Zettner, a huge gain and a huge touchdown. A bomb by Wesley Vascal. What a throw and what a catch. Vascal to Zettner. 6 points added on the scoreboard.
This brought the Greyhounds within one possession. However, the Gremlins never took their foot off the gas as Hunter Shear iced the game with a 46-yard screenplay. Even though they suffered a tough loss to the Gremlins, the Greyhounds claimed the #1 seed in the District 10 Region 1 Class A bracket. The Greyhounds finished the season with an impressive 7-3 overall record and a 3-1 region record. After a bye week, the Greyhounds will play the winner of Cambridge Springs and Cochranton in a semifinal matchup. Thanks for watching this Wilmington Greyhound football update. For Titantown Sports, I'm Tom Rook.
District playoffs for football happening this Friday and Saturday, so a whole lot going on there in high school action. As Wilmington actually have a bye, RJ, in Class 1A, so they'll play next Saturday against the winner of a first-round matchup.
Enough time to rest up. A great thing Coach Fillion has going. Their legacy is the name of the game for Wilmington. They look to maintain that throughout the playoffs, especially with a bye week to get that extra rest, like I said.
Absolutely. RJ, let's take a look now. Our pumpkins. Here we are. So I ended up going with the smiley face, threw some eyebrows on there in the end. I wanted to do a Westminster W. As you see, it didn't turn out very good. So we went back to the traditional, nice just smiley face with some eyebrows. I don't think it was too bad, you know?
No, I mean, personally, I like the W idea. I didn't think it was that bad, but me, I went with a Joker-esque themed, vibe. I don't know. It's looking a little crazy, as we can see here. It's just, we got the eyes right here. We got, the mouth, kind of the wide smile. I'm sorry, Ben. Why so serious? I had to do it. That's the Joker right there for you. Hopefully, people get the cultural reference, but, that's my gig.
Absolutely. That's all for this episode of Titantown Sports. RJ, a special one. Nice Halloween edition. I'm glad I got to do this one alongside you. Vote on social media. Whose pumpkin was better? I'm going to have to go with I love the Joker idea.
Yeah.
I think if I had the Westminster W, I would have locked it up. But
I'll say this. Vote for him because of the suit. Look at this suit. Can we get props to this right here? Oh, it's a beautiful suit. But that's all for Titantown Sports. A very ghouly episode, as they say. We'll see you guys next time. Have a safe Halloween and take care.
Hi, I'm Brittany from New Wilmington Nutrition. Thank you for watching Titantown Sports. We'll see you next week.